In this episode, Lila Holley speaks to us about her book tour, her book series, and the importance of sisterhood. You are listening to Sister Soldier Entrepreneur. Sister Soldier Entrepreneur is a podcast created for and by an African American woman veteran entrepreneur. The host is Rolande Sumner, CEO and founder of Butter Angels Handcrafted Skincare and US Army veteran. Hi, Lila. Thank you for joining us today. I'm so excited. Woo-hoo. Everybody, Lila.
Me too.
Lila Holley is, she's going to be starting to be our resident veteran spotlight and subject matter expert on all things books. She is now on tour for her third or fourth book, Camouflage Sisters' fourth book. Is this your fourth book?
Third book.
Her third.
It's my fourth book, well, my third Camouflage Sisters book.
Okay, so already you know she's got 4 books out. She's an award-winning author. She is the visionary for this wonderful movement of women veterans supporting other women veterans through books. So I'm not going to hold you up any longer. I'm going to go ahead and introduce Miss Lila Holley.
Thank you so much. Thank you for this platform and creating it to celebrate us. I'm all about celebrating us military women. So thank you for that and for having me today. And so, like she said, my name is Lila Holley. I'm a U.S. Army veteran. I served 22 years in the U.S. Army, retired as a Chief Warrant Officer 4. But now my life is very exciting because I am the visionary of the Camouflage Sisters movement. I call it a movement because it's so much more than just the books. It started with me really, like Rolande, wanted to celebrate us and our stories. And so we have 3 books out now. Our first book chronicles the journey of African-American women in service. Our second book, Silent No More, tackles tougher topics. And I call that book our healing project because we focus mainly on the journey to healing after traumatic experiences. And in our third book, Behind the Rank, Volume 1, I call that our chicken soup for the military woman's soul because it's 29 amazing co-authors in that book who share short stories from their military experiences, and they always leave you with a message of hope at the end, their lesson learned, and then the message of hope. And that book was really written for the next generation of women leaders coming behind us, because as we know, there's really nothing new under the sun that they will experience in their military career. So we wanted to share our lessons learned with them and just some tips and encouragement of how to make it through those challenging moments in their military careers. And so, like Rolanda said, I have 4 books out. My first book was a solo project titled Battle Buddy, about my transition from the military after those 22 years. And as many of you know, that transition is very tough. It's like so emotional. It really caught me off guard. Yeah. It really caught me off guard because I was like, I'm the chief. I can handle this. I'm a push through, and I mean, it took me down a little bit, and so I wrote about that journey. I wrote about the lessons that I learned and some of the things that really helped me push through, and I share that in my first book, Battle Buddy, and I use that a lot as my speaking platform when I'm speaking to veterans, just to help them know, to help everybody know that the emotion piece of transition is real. And it's just a normal part of the process. Don't feel any way about it, like you're different or it's abnormal. It is normal. But just like many of us, you'll get through it. But the main thing with that message is stay connected. Like stay connected to your brotherhood, your sisterhood. Just stay connected to the family of the military, because we know it's important to be around people who have walked in your boots. And we are the 1%. Don't feel any kind of way if you have challenges or struggles. The military really don't teach us how to reach out for help. But I will tell you, in my transition and in this next chapter, this phase of my life, reaching out for help has been like the greatest part of it all for me.
I'm gonna co-sign on that. I mean,
yeah, absolutely
right. I wouldn't be here today if I didn't have other women veterans who have walked before me and say it's okay. It's okay. This is normal. And it makes total sense because you're coming from one very different culture, world, because it's a world of its own. Like, you don't have to leave post if you don't want to. You don't have
Absolutely.
anything outside of the military if you don't want to, because you could take a plane from one world to the next, to the next. You don't have to really interact with the rest of the world, and they don't really encourage you to interact with the rest of the world. You know,
Yeah.
like, no, you don't need to be out there. We're your family. This is where it's at. And so when you get out, you don't realize how different it is, and you go through a little bit of a shock. So you're absolutely right about having other women around who are saying, like, no, we get it. We've been through it too. Let's help you.
Yeah. Yes, you're absolutely right. You hit it right on the nail. And so with the Camouflage Sisters movement, I I I I I wanted to value the voices of military women. There weren't a lot of books out there with our voices, with our first rendition of the experience of serving in the military, especially minority women. And so writing that first book was really important to me to tell that story. And at the end of the day, what people will notice from that book and all of our books is that we're just women first. And just like any other woman, we want the best in our lives, the best out of life. And our path just happens to take us down the route of serving in the military. And so, when people read our books, they will be able to, whether they served or not, especially women, they'll be able to relate to that because we talk about balancing, all the different hats we wear as women. We're mothers, we're spouses, we're career women. Every woman has challenges with that, and that's a huge topic. We talk a lot about mentorship and being there for each other, just like you said. If it hadn't been for those other military women, you will have felt lost. And so it's important for us as women to be there for each other. And at the end of the day, like I said, all women just want the best out of life and all the things that life has to offer them. And so I'm excited because, like you said, we are. I guess I pretty much stay on tour, I feel like.
Yes. I mean, honestly, the first time I caught you, it was after, I think you had just stopped traveling for a little bit. I think I caught you like on a day, and we had to reschedule a couple of times because you're like, well, no, I gotta go this place, and then I had other things going on. But you stay on the road, and honestly,
I do.
she stays on the road for Women Veteran Matters. Like, you're gonna
Yes.
tour for the book. You'll see her on tour for speaking engagements, but whatever she's doing professionally, and I'm sure she has other things outside the military community, but a lot of what she does professionally is assist other women veterans in having a holistic, having a good life holistically. And it's important because until I met the women in the circle that I'm in right now, I didn't know there were so many out there who are really trying to reach back and help us out. I was, oh, let me just do this project and see how many interviews I can get. And now I'm like, oh my goodness, I need to find more. This is great.
It is. It is. You're right. And so, thank you for that. And so, yeah, I do. I get out there. I tell people these books don't sell themselves sitting in my garage. They absolutely don't do that. But it's so much more than me getting out there and selling books. I do love to speak. And I always like to encourage my sisters in arms. And so I have been very deliberate in supporting events tailored towards military women. And so this month here is Women's History Month. I just came off a heavy travel for Black History Month. As you know, the theme was African Americans in times of war. And so I really took advantage of that and was out there a lot. I think I was home probably 5 or 7 days in the month of February. The other days I was gone. And so March is a lot of travel as well. But I say all that to say that you're right. There is a awesome network of women, military women, who are giving back to the sisterhood, who are here to serve the sisterhood. And I love to be there for them whenever I can, to show up. I think that's our biggest thing. We just have to show up. We have to show up to see what's available out there. We have to show up to see how we can serve each other. And so that's why I do what I do. That's why I stay on the road. And so right now we are getting ready for Behind the Ranks Volume 2 to come out. Woo! I'm so excited. Yes. I have 17 new co-authors in that book who are sharing their stories, and I'm so excited about this project. It's going to blow your socks off, some of the stories that these ladies share, some of the things that they have been able to come through unscathed, still gracious in their demeanor, still smiling on their face, and just still willing to share the lessons that they learned in the process. And so I'm so appreciative of the women who continue to trust me with their stories, who are a part of our projects, and just humbled that God has placed me on this new journey in my life. So let me see. We have that coming out. So connect with us on social media. We have a Facebook page, Camouflage Sisters LLC, and you'll be able to get more information on the new book as we release information and when it's available for pre-purchase, and then some of the locations will be showing up in as that book becomes available, as well as my travel schedule in the months leading up to that.
Now, a word from our sponsors. Podbean is an easy-to-use, all-in-one podcast hosting and publishing platform. Podbean offers podcasting with no limits, and all plans have robust features to help you succeed with your podcast. You can even record and publish podcasts right from your mobile phone with the Podbean app. Podbean also offers integrated monetization tools so you can earn revenue for the work you create. To get started, visit podbean.com/ButterAngels. Butter Angels handcrafted skincare creates natural vegan skincare products made with exotic ingredients from around the world. Butter Angels soothes and moisturizes dry skin on the face, hands, elbows, knees, and ankles of our nation's bravest warriors. Butter Angels handcrafted skincare is lightweight, fast absorbing, and long lasting, making it easy for women veterans to moisturize and beautify on the go. Visit ButterAngels.com to learn more. Now let's get back to the program.
Participate or not, you guys, I encourage you to look into this and at least get on the mailing list so that you can prepare for it.
Yes.
She's already told you she's got 3 books, and she just got off her tour and about to get back on tour for the 3rd book. She's got a 4th book coming out. So I'm almost certain with the demand of women veterans wanting more information that there's going to be future books. And if you wanted to be an author, but you don't know how to go about it, this is a great segue into that population, because she doesn't just say, here, I want your story, and then you got to flounder. She mentors you through the writing process. You know, she's reading your words, and she's really taking it in, and she's coming back with feedback. And I think that is important that you have somebody walk you through the book writing and the publishing process so that you're not alone. And when the book is award winning, everybody in the book is an award.
Absolutely. Man, I'm so glad you said that, Rolanda, because I work hard for people to see that. I thank you for recognizing that the way I structure this these projects is exactly how you described it. I am very hands-on with the co-authors, so you don't need to be an amazing writer or, no errors or anything like that. You can write the way you talk and we'll make it work. And so I am very hands-on. I know, but I do have a conversation with the ladies who are interested in sharing their stories. As we know, there's a lot that goes into serving in the military as women, especially the emotions, the pain, and the things that we carry with that experience. And so I do have a one-on-one conversation with those interested in joining my projects beforehand, just to make sure they're in a good space mentally, and that they're in a good space in terms of their healing process, because we know whether it's a trauma that you experienced in the military or just trying to fit in as a woman in a man's world, there's some emotions and some hurts that go along with that. And so I always want to make sure that women are in a good space to share their stories. And I will turn you down and give you some advice if you're not there yet. And I understand it's a process for everybody. It's not, we all have amazing stories to share. And I absolutely encourage women to get to a point where they can share their story, especially in book form, but just share your story, period, because there's someone out there who needs to hear from us. And so that is a big part of the process, that one-on-one interview that takes place. And then there is that hands-on coaching and mentor from me personally, because this is my brand. This is I did 22 years in the Army. I'm not here to bash the military. So that's not what we do. If you've read any of our books, you know that's not what we do. Our objective is to write to our sisters in arms, those who may relate to the stories, or their stories may mirror the stories that are shared in the book, especially the next generation of women coming behind us. That's who we really speak a lot to, because I still feel that the military is a great alternative, a great career option for young women. And so if that's the route that you want to go, you have a lot of women who have already journeyed that road before you. And so here are our stories. Here are some of the challenges we face, but here are a lot of our successes as well. And here are the lessons that we learn on this route that we travel, that you're traveling now. And so that's the main objective for our books. We have an amazing publishing team. They do, they really value what we do. They're like our biggest cheerleaders, and they love what we do. So they really work hard to make sure that the brand is represented well, and everything that I desire to represent in our books, from the cover to the back cover, is always top notch and first class. And just like you said, when that book hits number one, every single author in that book is a number one best-selling author. When that book wins an award, every single author in that book is an award-winning author. You add those things to your resume, so as you move on to other ventures in your life, that's a part of your resume. That's a part of who you are. That is a marketable skill and title that you own and now possess. And now you've attached yourself to this brand, Camouflage Sisters, that I'm working very, very hard to make a household name and to make a very reputable and recognizable brand. I think I'm well on my way to doing that.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. 4 books on, 3 books down, 1 on the way, award winning. You guys need to join the her Facebook group, because there are women entrepreneurs, and I'm big into entrepreneurship because this is where the space I'm in now. So I'm sharing it with everybody. But the group is full of women veterans, and a couple of men maybe, that it's all walks of life. So if you're like, look, I was toying with the idea of writing a book, but I'm not sure. I think I want to speak, or I want to own a business. It's a very open, positive group. And you just ask a question, hey, do you guys know about this? And somebody will answer like, you know what, I did that last week, or I did this once before. So even if you're not interested in being in a book, there's a lot of information in the group itself.
Yes. And I'm working harder on making that group and just the community resourceful, just like you said, for entrepreneurs, because we're all building our businesses. There's different things that we want to do. Just a lot of lessons learned now that I'm able to capture and to provide additional services to the community, as well as you and the other entrepreneurs in the group, where we are all about resources and sharing resources, being support system for our fellow brother and sister in arms. And so that is really, I'm going to just really be ramping it up this year to make that community amazing for all of us. I was going to say something you mentioned. So yes, yeah, the book projects, absolutely. There are more book projects in the works. I'm always thinking, and I get requests of, I was at an event this past, just a couple of days ago in San Diego, and 2 ladies gave me an idea for an upcoming book. I said, y'all, listen, let me tell you how I operate. Don't tell me something. Don't say something to me. And then when I come back to you in a couple of weeks, I'm like, okay.
What are you talking about? I don't remember saying that.
That's what I told her. I said, when I come back to you in a couple of weeks and be like, okay, here's the page to sign up for that book. And don't say we didn't have this conversation. They laugh, because that's just how I am. I always listen, and I always listen to the prompting of God to move in a direction. And so when two people at the same event mention the same thing, I'm like, okay, that's enough prompting for me. But I also, just like you said, so many women want to write books, and so I'm going to make myself available within our community, as well as additional products and services that I will be offering from my experiences to those who want to write books. And I always tell, like you said, I'm big into strategic partnerships. So partnering with Camouflage Sisters, we don't take anything away from you and your journey. If you have a book, I've created platforms for these ladies to promote their books within our magazine, within our virtual platform. We do, we're probably going to kick back up our book of the month. Yeah, our book of the month club, and be able to promote your book there as well, have conversations about your book. And so we have to tell these stories. I'm really, really big into telling stories and sharing our stories. So if I could think of something, a platform or an opportunity for us to share our stories and create opportunities for you to push and promote your book, then that's what I work towards. So you can have a book already done, or you can aspire to write a book. Either way, you'll be able to get the resources that you need to get that done. You'll be able to get information and opportunities to push and promote your book. And really, this is truly a sisterhood that is about support and just really supporting each other. And so I love that you said that.
So I know you're really busy. I'm going to go ahead and close it out, but tell us how we can get a hold of you. How can we find your book, the latest one, and how can we find you?
Okay. Well, if you don't catch me live and in person, you can always get the books on Amazon.com as well as Barnes & Noble. They're available on both websites, as well as Walmart, Books A Million, and all the other outlets where you can find books. But I always name those two main ones, Amazon and Barnes & Noble, because a lot of people like to shop there. As well as our website, CamouflageSisters.com. You can read up on the other co-authors and different things that we have going on at the website. My website is lilaholley.com if you want to contact me for speaking engagements and different things like that. We have a Facebook page, Camouflage Sisters LLC. Like our page to stay up to date on different things that we're sharing there. And then, like Rolande said, we have a closed Facebook group called the Sisterhood, presented by Camouflage Sisters. You can request to join that group as well. And then I'll probably be promoting that more this month, so people will know more about it, so that they can have the opportunity to join that as well. We're also on Instagram at Camouflage Sisters, and I am on Twitter as Lila Holley _12. And so, so many ways to contact us, and I'm just excited and appreciative of all the support that we have been receiving up to this point. So you guys don't know how much that does for my heart, but I appreciate your continued support, your words of encouragement, your prayers, and just the opportunity to continue to serve.
All of the links to reach her will be below in the show notes, as well as a link to her latest book, and it'll go straight to Amazon, and so you can go ahead and buy it. And Lila, you're going to hear from me soon, because I'm trying to put together a subscription box to launch next year, and I might need a few of your books wholesale, but we're going to talk about that when you get
Very good. Very good.
I'm going to let you go, but thank you so much for coming back on. I know you're really busy. I just wanted the world to know about your books and authoring opportunities that you often have, and I want you to get some rest.
I am.
Keep pushing forward.
Yes, I listen to you guys. I hear you. So this time that I'm home is definitely all about rest and relaxation and reconnecting with my family. So thank you again for creating this platform for us to celebrate each other. I really appreciate you.
You're welcome, and we'll talk later.
Thank you for tuning in to Sister Soldier Entrepreneur, the podcast created for and by African American women, veteran entrepreneurs. Sister Soldier Entrepreneur is powered by Butter Angel's Handcrafted Skincare. Butter Angel's Handcrafted Skincare is handcrafted natural vegan skincare created with exotic ingredients from around the world. To be a guest on our show, please visit butterangels.com and click on Sister Soldier Entrepreneur. We would love to hear from you.